People don't understand just how strong Chris Redfield is, so let's talk about him. Chris is one of the many protagonists from the Resident Evil series, and dear lord, look at those pythons. Chris Redfield, after high school, enlisted in the United States Air Force. There he learned how to fly both planes and helicopters. Also during this time, Chris was trained in hand-to-hand combat, knife training, and firearms training, which he was so good in marksmanship that he actually won a couple awards for. But after his time with the Air Force, he joined up with the STARS, the Special Tactics and Rescue Service. This is basically the RPD's super SWAT. Personally funded by the Umbrella Corporation, this is made up of ex-military and academic experts, and the original purpose was to deal with anti-terror and Raccoon City's increasing crime problem. However, after the Spencer Mansion incident and later the destruction of Raccoon City, the STARS were disbanded. But the remaining few members of STARS would form the BSAA, the Bioterror Security Assessment Alliance, designed to deal with any and all BOW or bioterror activity around the world, which would include Albert Wesker, the former leader of STARS and the one who enhanced himself with the T-virus strain, giving him superhuman strength, speed, and agility. Now, Chris knew he had to find a way to even the odds when taking on Wesker again, but instead of being a chump and taking the easy route and giving himself a T-virus enhancement like that wannabe Neo Wesker, Chris instead took the P-virus, the protein virus. Symptoms include going to the gym and bench pressing 300 pounds, doing push-ups, pull-ups, barbell curls, eating at least 18 eggs and a 100-ounce steak, and of course, drinking a whole lot of juice.
How many push-ups did he do? How many sit-ups? What kind of juice did he drink?
This transformed Chris from a scrawny STARS point man into an absolute juggernaut of a human being. You know that argument about 100 guys versus one gorilla that's going on right now? Well, if the first person is Chris Redfield, he's gonna Saitama the hell out of that gorilla. Chris is so strong, he can physically annihilate BOWs that are much stronger than normal human beings. He can also kick down stone pillars like they're made of paper, restrain Jill Valentine when she was enhanced by the P30 virus, escape getting crushed by a huge mutated snake, hold up a metal shutter door for a good while, and then he was able to beat the crap out of Wesker, who was so strong he could just toss around missiles like football. However, Chris doesn't wander around with fist alone because he has some special equipment to help him make things easier, such as his pistol, the Samurai Edge, standard issue for STARS and BSAA members. This thing is a double-action 15 rounds of 9mm Second Amendment glory. He also possesses an AR with a bayonet on it, a shotgun, an SMG, a Magnum, and his combat knife. He also possesses a grenade launcher with 4 special types of grenades, that being ice, lightning, fire, and explosive. But lastly, there is Chris's most powerful weapon, and possibly the most powerful weapon in the entirety of Resident Evil, the LTD, a device that targets enemies and will call down a satellite laser to completely obliterate them. And with all of this, Chris has done a lot over the years. He survived the T-virus outbreak at the Spencer Mansion, which included zombies, giant mutated snakes, sharks, zombie dogs, the heavily mutated and immortal Lisa Trevor, and the Tyrant T-002 model. He's teamed up with his sister to defeat Alexia Ashford, who was mutated by the T. Veronica virus. He defeated a village of individuals who were infected by the Type 2 and 3 Plaga parasite, defeated several powerful BOWs infected with the C virus, such as the Javo zombies and the Massive Chaos, a creature so powerful it could infect the entire world with the C virus. He's also fought Special Agent Backflip's Leon S. Kennedy to a standstill. Then they later teamed up to take down an entire hallway full of zombies, and then later fought Glenn Ares in a gun fu match. Then he defeated him when he became a super BOW. He finally defeated Wesker once and for all in a volcano with a couple RPGs. And last, but certainly not least, he punched a 30,000-pound boulder loose. Every night when Dwayne Johnson sleeps, he checks to see if Chris is underneath his bed. But anyway, that is the man who makes sure that the residents aren't evil.
Leon! Get back here and my sister now! The Redfield bloodline must continue!
Leon Scott Kennedy is one of the many protagonists from the Resident Evil series, and he is the reason why you should never skip leg day. Leon is a federal agent of the Division of Security Operations, or DSO, an agency designed to deal with BOW activity all around the world. And in order for Leon to deal with these man-made horrors from a lab, Leon had to get some special training. First, there's the typical police force training back at the RPD, but things for him kicked into overdrive after the Raccoon City incident. There, he was recruited by the government and given some of the best training you could get on planet Earth. We're talking special operations, CIA, Secret Service. They've also trained him in Taekwondo, Krav Maga, Jiu-Jitsu, and Russian Sistema. He's also been trained in knife combat from former Special Ops Jack Krauser. And this guy is so good with a knife that if you gave him a gun, he'd be less effective at long range. And all of this hasn't just made Leon one of the best agents in the world, it's practically made him a super soldier. Leon is strong enough to suplex BOWs onto the ground, crushing their heads. He's also strong enough to keep up with some of the more powerful BOWs, such as the infamous Tyrants. And these things are big enough and strong enough to crush a human like paper with just one hand. And they can also take down lickers or even pick up a tent. He's also forced open a zombie shark's mouth. But like I said, Leon is the reason why you should never skip leg day, because this man has calves and quads of steel. Leon is strong enough to roundhouse kick someone so hard it will completely shatter their neck. He can also kick open brick walls. He's also fast enough to outrun boulders and escape most attacks by doing the most necessary backflips. I'd say Leon's lower body strength is just as strong as Chris's upper body strength, and that guy's strong enough to punch boulders loose. However, Leon isn't just a badass with skills alone because he has some special equipment to help him, such as the Silver Ghost, a modified .45 caliber pistol just made for Leon. He also possesses several shotguns, ARs, snipers, grenade launchers. There's also his red tip RPG, which is stronger than typical RPGs and able to one-shot most BOWs it comes across. But there's also Leon's trusty hand cannon, the Lightning Hawk, which uses 7 rounds of .50 caliber Action Express, God's righteous caliber, able to one-shot most zombies and small BOWs, but still strong enough to do a lot of damage to the big bosses. But lastly, there's Leon's most powerful and dangerous weapon, his knife. Now, in the hands of any day-to-day nerd, it's just a normal sharp piece of metal. But in the hands of Leon, it's a weapon of mass destruction. Thanks to his extra training by Jack Krauser, Leon is much more dangerous in close corners than anyone with any weapon. He is able to parry attacks from zombies or enhanced BOWs. He can even parry chainsaws or even bullets. Leon was even able to take down his teacher Jack when he got enhanced by Las Paladas. And due to all of this, Leon has done a lot over the years. He's one of the few survivors of the Raccoon City incident. There, he took on hordes of zombies and other enhanced BOWs such as Mr. X or William Birkin, who was infected with the G virus. He saved the president's daughter from the cult Los Illuminados. And there, he took down an entire town of people infected by the Las Plagas parasite, as well as the massive El Gigante, Mendez, Salazar, and the cult leader Sabler, and even a special version of an infected known as a regenerator that is practically immortal. He's also stopped another outbreak from a new virus known as the C virus, which has been said to create even stronger BOWs than the T or G virus. He's dodged lasers, taken down infected dogs on a highway with a motorcycle. He's fought Captain Boulder Puncher himself, Chris Redfield, to a standstill. Him and Chris have also taken down an entire hallway full of zombies, and he's also taken on Glenn Ares, a super BOW in physical combat. This man has saved the world time and time again from countless zombie apocalypses and has beaten the very worst scientific abominations thrown at him. But anyway, that is the badass rookie turned special agent. HUNK is a character from the Resident Evil series, and this guy is the biggest badass of all time. HUNK is a cold, silent, and ruthless soldier with an all-business mindset. To HUNK, the only thing that matters is the completion of the mission. HUNK is the leader of Alpha Team within the USS, or the Umbrella Security Service, which specializes in covert operations, guard duty, and protections, or just cleaning up Umbrella's messes. After HUNK was recruited by the USS, he was trained at the Rockford Island back in 1996. And Umbrella doesn't just send its recruits into any normal training grounds. Instead, they are thrown into live combat trainings with active BOWs. Many do not survive these trials except for a few, some of which are HUNK and Sergeant Nikolai Zenev, one of the UBCS, who HUNK would also form something of a rivalry with. HUNK for the next 2 years would work for Umbrella until mid-September 1998 during Operation Nestwrecker. There, HUNK HUNK and Alpha Team were tasked with retrieving the G-Virus sample from William Birkin and bringing him in alive. However, William injected himself with the G-Virus, becoming a monster and eliminating Alpha Team and causing HUNK to lose the sample. But instead of calling in command and telling them mission failed, he tells them,
"Come on! Birkin injected himself with the G-Virus. There's nothing you can do. Get out of here and make a full report to management."
What about you, sir? I lost the sample. I'm going back for it.
HUNK wears standard issue USS textbook gear, which consists of a gas mask, arm and knee pads, and body armor that protects him from bite. He's also armed with a shotgun, pistol, SMG, lightning hot, several different grenades, healing herbs, and a combat knife. And due to all of this, HUNK has done a lot. HUNK, when he was working for Umbrella, completed countless missions and often became the sole survivor of them all, earning the title of the Grim Reaper. He's also trained Vector from Delta Squad, survived his encounter with William Birkin. He's also survived several days inside of the Raccoon City sewers, this place being ground zero of the T-Virus outbreak. However, he later escaped by charging through the RPD with every type of infected flooding the station, including the T-00 Tyrant. And later on, after Umbrella disbanded, he became a legendary mercenary. He even developed a new fighting style known as the Close Quarters Quarantine Battle Zone, or CQBZ, a fighting style designed to combat BOWs. He would also invent the Zombie Bell, the Zombie Eisen, the Zombie Jammer, and of course, the Bite Guard. HUNK is also so strong that Capcom refused to give him a knife in Resident Evil 4 or else he would be too overpowered. And he's done all of this with no injections, no enhancements, no special viruses, just being pure human. But anyway, that is the death that will not die, the Grim Reaper, and the human unit never HUNK. Comment down below who or what you want me to talk about next, and feel free to give this video a like, feel free to give your boy a follow, and I'll talk to y'all later. Hope you have a nice day, and
Hasta luego.